Assalamu alaikum everyone. आवाज आ रही है आपको? Okay. So I'll just cut straight to the chase, right? Does anyone know the definition of insanity? And I'll tell you why I'm going to talk about it. No? Okay. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, hoping to expecting a different outcome. It's about being stuck in a cycle of frustration and stagnation. When people repeatedly approach situations with the same mindset or behaviors but expect different outcomes, they find themselves stuck in a rut. At some point in my career, I was also stuck in a rut. More than once, I've had the chance to reset my career. The first time it was turning from a rock star to a Romeo on screen, lead vocalist from a rock band, to being an actor on screen, a romantic hero. From performing in front of a live audience to performing for the camera, that was a reset for me. The next reset for me came in the form of shaking off the image of this on-screen Romeo. People expected me as Usher, Zaroon, whenever I met them in public. So much so that whenever I met them, they expected me to be the same person in reality. I wanted to do more. I knew I was able to do more. I knew that doing the same thing over and over, again and again, would not get me different results. And therefore, I felt like I was flatlining, I was stagnating. It was time to jump into the unknown. It was time to take a leap of faith. And this led me to the pursuit of roles that were a little more personally rewarding to me. Like the challenging, multifaceted character that I played in Kapoor & Sons, and the extremely physically demanding role that I played in Maula Jat. Believe you me, these were difficult stages in my life. These were difficult stages. These were difficult decisions. And both these performances challenged me in ways that my previous roles had not, which allowed me to further hone my abilities as an actor. I'm still learning today, and I'm still hoping to approach newer roles that will give me those opportunities. Now, recognizing this pattern of repeatedly doing the same thing and moving on from that is the first step of embracing what I call reset, which is what we're talking about today, Control Alt Delete. What does it mean to reset? For me, I mean, reset can have many meanings, but for me, it is looking at something from multiple vantage points, from different perspectives, from different points of view. Resetting, the way you think, means intentionally changing your mindsets, your beliefs, your thoughts, your patterns and your perspectives. It involves challenging ingrained habits of thinking and being open to new ideas, possibilities, and viewpoints. Resetting can also involve clearing away clutter, distractions, bad habits, negative influences. And this can create space for new opportunities, ideas, or perspectives to emerge. It doesn't happen overnight. The intent of making a difference is just the first step, a shift in perspective. A shift in perspective can lead to profound changes in behaviors and outcomes. This depends on the mindset you adopt, and there are two kinds, a fixed mindset and a growth mindset. And I'm sure you've all heard of it. A fixed mindset is basically, if I were to just summarize it, is to limit yourselves to the abilities and the traits and the talent, the set of talents that you have. You believe that you have a set of talents and that's all you have. And that's all you'll ever be good for. What that does is that is what causes you to get stuck in a rut. A fixed mindset will not allow you to grow because it stops you from taking feedback and criticism from other people. Maula Jat is such an example in my life where when I was approached with the role, the first thing I said to my friend Bilal was that I don't think I'm prepared for this role. I'm not ready for this role. I've never spoken Punjabi in my life. I don't know what it's going to involve, the amount of physicality that will be involved, kitna strain jism pe padega to become this role. And believe you me, again, there's a very, very funny incident that I'm going to reveal to you today, is that every time that he'd bring me a dialogue, right, I would say, isko kaato yaar, isko nikalo bahar, so that I could limit the number of lines that I was speaking, because I was so underconfident about speaking in Punjabi. But then he sat down, we exchanged points of view, I sat down with Nasir Adib, and then I took on the task. Now, how good or bad I did it, how well I performed, that is up to you people. But for me, this was resetting the way I thought and embracing the change and allowing myself to experience something new completely. I took on that role, I played Maula Jat, and that is what that's what brings me to the second kind of mindset, which is the growth mindset, which is being more malleable, being more receptive to other people's points of views. That will lead you to opening yourself up to a discussion. That will lead you to opening yourself up to a change of point of view. And that is a little what I wanted to talk about, perspectives and changing mindsets. Accepting the perspective that I was capable to grow and rise to this new challenge was difficult. And I'm just going to rush towards the end. It brings me to another little tidbit in my life. I remember when I was on a set, I'm not going to name the actor, the co-actor. I was, every time I would do a take, every time I'd attempt something, मैं टेक करता और उसके बाद मैं कहता because अच्छा नहीं किया तो मैं सोचता था मैं कहता था I'm not an actor because I was not an actor then. This was my first acting stint. And every time I would do it again, I would say, yeah, I'm not an actor. So she just turned around and said to me, why are you here? And why do you keep saying that? Why are you here if you're not an actor? Why are you doing this? That is another example of changing the perspective where, for the first time in my life, I said, yeah, that's a very tough question. If I don't know how to act, then why am I here? And that's what led me to actually studying my work. कि मैंने अब कैसा किया, अगले role में कैसा किया, and then I started moving on from there, watching my work, learning from my failures, which brings me to challenge the assumptions that people have about you. If someone thinks that you're not capable of something and you want to attempt it, then give yourself that chance and be your best judge, because you are your best judge. This is all about embracing failure. Resetting the way you think also involves embracing failure, which involves overcoming the fear of being unsuccessful and reframing that fear as being a necessary path for step on the path to success. Instead of letting fear paralyze you, individuals who embrace failure approach challenges with courage, resilience, and willingness to take calculated risks, to come back stronger than before. Another example of this is a recent film that I did. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it. It's called Money Back Guarantee. In a lot of people's point of view, this film was not the best work of my life, right? But because I just wanted to do that, with it came the criticism, with it came the reflection of other people's ideas that this is not that great. And I had to accept that and move on. So the last thing that helped me reset is adopting a creative mindset. I try to be inherently open to new ideas and perspectives. This involves being willing to explore unconventional paths and consider possibilities that others might regularly overlook. All the resets in my life so far have been unconventional, according to me. By fostering an open mindset, you can break free from rigid thinking patterns and tap into creative potential. Creativity often requires a willingness to take risks and experiment with different approaches. A mindset that embraces experimentation and accepts the possibility of failure, it is essential for creative exploration. Individuals who are not afraid to take risks are more likely to push boundaries. And I would like to leave you with this thought, after which I'm going to open the floor to a line of questioning from you, if you would like to get involved with me, is that the world as we have created it is a process of our thinking. It cannot be changed without changing our thinking. And that is a quote from a very famous scientist, I believe, Albert Einstein. Control-Alt-Delete can mean a lot more than what I have just talked about today. It can mean different things to different people. So most importantly today, I would like to know, what does Control-Alt-Delete mean to you? What is an example in your life that you think is Control-Alt-Delete? Because everything I've said, honestly speaking, is just a very small example of how I have reset my way of thinking in life to approach different obstacles. But have I reached that point of control or delete in my life as yet where I want to completely change the way I do things or completely change what I do? I don't know. It can be different for you, it can be different for you, it can be different for everyone. So with that, I close what I wanted to say about it, and I'd like to send a mic into the audience, because honestly, I'm terrible at this kind of thing. I would rather talk to you guys and hear your thoughts and opinions on it, of what Control Alt Delete means to you. So if there's anyone who would like to tell me an example of theirs or ask a question, you're more than welcome.
My name is Rashid Latif. I waited intentionally for a couple of minutes for somebody else to ask questions. Normally, in our culture, we feel inhibited in standing up and saying something. That's why all of them, they wish to speak to you, ask questions, but because of the culture, they didn't. First of all, I must thank you for being here. And second, the insight you are given, that, and standing there, we have deeper knowledge about your personality, about your profession, and your knowledge at movie making and all that.
Oh, thank you.
But I feel I should thank you for giving this insight. They're all medical students, are related subjects. What kind of insight would you suggest for them? Now they are in a profession which is healthcare, providing relief to the patients. What kind of insight they should have in adopting their profession and progressing forward?
Well, अच्छा आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे? अच्छा नहीं.
आप पहले जवाब दे दें फिर उसके बाद.
So this is exactly what I was kind of looking forward to. कि देखिए, Control Alt Delete is a very expansive subject to talk about. And you know, there's this popular theory that's going around in the world. Okay, अभी कुछ बड़ी बात नहीं की मैंने वैसे. There's a very popular theory, like at the World Economic Forum, I believe a year ago or 2 years ago, there was this thing being discussed called the Great Reset. Have you guys heard about the Great Reset? किसी ने सुना है Great Reset के बारे में? वो वही बात थी. It's about changing the way you think. अब इस कॉन्सेप्ट को आपने अगर अपनी पर्सनल जिंदगी में अडॉप्ट करना है या अप्लाई करना है, ये आपने पहले सोचना है whether it's for your personal ambition or it's for the greater good of humanity. Now, I think that we all, you know, in our lives, we were caught in this constant struggle of achieving something. Somebody wants to be a doctor out there who wants to perform surgery so that he can buy a, you know, who can, initially I believe that you start out wanting to help someone. But then sometimes it just becomes about the money, right? That happens in every profession. So what would you want to do with your life if you get stuck at a certain point and you feel, yeah, this is not what I wanted, this is not what I wanted to do? तो आप क्या करना चाहते हो, ये आप पे डिपेंड करता है. मैं आपको इसके ऊपर इंसाइट इसलिए दे नहीं सकता सर इनको, because everyone's Control Alt Delete is a different process. Everyone's resetting is a different process. It might be that some of you out there don't want to be doctors, and that you're just doing this because your parents put you there, or you're just doing this because it's conventional to do that thing. So what I can suggest is that you step back for a moment, take a pause, take your time. एक आध साल कहीं चला भी जाता है, कुछ महीने कहीं चले भी जाते हैं, कुछ दिन कहीं चले भी जाते हैं, तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ता. उससे बस ये होगा कि you won't be coming back to pressing that nuclear button again and again, pressing control alt delete again and again कि आज मैं फिर गलत कर गया, चलो फिर से रीसेट करते हैं. Because it takes time and it's not a hasty, it should not be a hasty process or a hasty decision. So whatever you do in life, you should want to excel at it, but more importantly, you need to know why you're doing it. Do you really want to do it, and why you want to do it? That's all the insight I can give them. You just choose very carefully what you want to do. I think there are no more questions. If there aren't, then thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I'll see you later.
I have a question.
जी बताएं.
Okay. So you've talked about resetting a thinking reset. I would like to ask you, you've worked in our neighboring country, crossed the border. Did that result in any perspective reset? Because, you know, the way we perceive things from a distance is different than when you are actually part of an environment.
Again, yes, it's a part of resetting. It's a changing of perspective. When I was in Pakistan and when I was going abroad to work, I think the first time around in 2008, when the opportunity arose, there was a lot of tension, political tension between the two countries. And I think when we're growing up, we're brought up to believe, or we were at that point in time, because us waqt itna social media tha nahi, there was not much exposure, so we were made to believe that this is the enemy, ya wahan pe jaoge to be careful, you know, koi ye kar sakta hai, koi wo kar sakta hai, and they think badly of you. You might think today this is difficult to imagine then, but उस वक्त यही सोचा जाता था कि यार वहाँ पे जाके अगर बेइज्जती होगी तो फिर क्या होगा, you know, अगर किसी ने कुछ कह दिया तो मैं क्या करूँगा. But when I landed there, I was embraced. I was honestly embraced. I had a lovely time. I met lovely people, and it made me understand that you have to have an environment, and if the environment is just right, these preconceived notions you need to let go of. ये वही बात है जिस तरह मैंने पहले भी बोला कि you have to look at things from different perspectives. When I saw it from their perspective, I changed my mindset कि yeah, I'm amongst friends. I'm amongst people where I can feel safe. So yeah, thank you.
I hope we are not short of time. Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Arif. Lovely seeing you in real life. If my wife and family were here, they would faint.
Thank you.
Lovely performances, and we love to see you. Little comment on Control Alt Delete. I think this is a natural process. There's a word called wisdom. Wisdom is actually Control Alt Delete. That when we grow up, events in life and environment, they force you to change your way for good or for bad. But this is something which happens naturally and subconsciously. But I can give you two examples where actually personalities have physically, voluntarily done this Control Alt Delete. I think the first person was Muhammad Ali Jinnah. If you remember, Muhammad Ali Jinnah wanted to be an actor. When he went to UK, he joined the Shakespeare, he wanted to join the Shakespeare Drama Company, Theatre Club. But then, Control Alt Delete, he joins Lincoln Inn and becomes a lawyer. When he comes back, he joins British service as a magistrate. Then, few years later, Control Alt Delete, and he joins Congress and becomes a champion of Hindu-Muslim unity. For many years, he was champion of Hindu-Muslim unity. And then he had this inkling that this minor community Hindus won't accept. Again, Control Alt Delete, and he joined Muslim League and made Pakistan. So I think it is the greatest example of Control Alt Delete. Second personality which comes to my mind is the great Pakistani cricketer who went to UK and he wanted to be a batsman. Time going? Right, okay. So I'll stop here because of short of time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.